Welcome to our webinar, The Longevity Plan, Lifelong Income Made Easy. I'm Adrienne Berg, and I'll be your host for an interview with Ronald Gelok, the founder and president of Ronald Gelok & Associates, a leading financial services firm. Ron is a tax attorney by training and a well-known speaker and TV commentator. Ron has offices in New York, New Jersey, and Florida, but he'll tell you how you can consult with him from anywhere you are by video call. And in either case, whether you video call with him or you come into his office, you'll receive a very important book that can make all the difference to your future. In this webinar, Ron will reveal how you can create tax-free cash flow that you can never outlive to build a miraculous retirement even in these tough times. Welcome, Ron.
Thank you, Adrienne. It's a pleasure to join you for this webinar.
Now, you know, Ron, this webinar is called the Longevity Plan. Let's start by explaining exactly what longevity has to do with our money.
Well, longevity is the expectation of how long we will live. Today, we must expect and plan for a minimum of 30 years after retirement. The fastest growing demographic in this country are people over the age of 85. We have clients coming in all the time who are in their 60s. Did you know that half of 60-year-olds have a living parent in their 80s and 90s and 100? I'm not about to put a limit on my clients' money span by planning for age 85 or 90 or even 100. I want their money to last as long as they do.
But, Ron, why do we need a plan for lifelong income? Isn't Social Security and an IRA enough?
Well, let's assume that we will have Social Security. I don't want to get into that political discussion as to whether it will always be there or not. To get the maximum amount you must hold out taking Social Security until you are age 70, and your Social Security check may not keep up with inflation. Plus, most couples don't realize that they'll spend an average of $225,000 on health care out of their pocket with or without Obamacare. For singles, it's more than half that figure because there is no spouse to care for them for a while. Most of us have chronic illnesses as we age, and home care is not covered by Medicare or health insurance unless we qualify for a poverty program. Then there are taxes. We're working longer. Social Security gets taxed when we work. So do IRA and 401k withdrawals. I'm not fond of this. That's why I want to reveal a strategy that people can really use to guarantee their future.
Now, speaking of strategy, before we started this webinar, you told me that you want to make a promise to the listeners and get a promise back. What's your promise?
Adrienne, I promise that people will learn something that they really did not know in this webinar, no matter how many books or financial newsletters they read or how much business TV they watch.
And Ron, what's the promise you want back?
Well, if I fulfilled my promise, I would like them to call me at the toll-free number on the slide or go to the special landing page I created just for this webinar, www.ronaldgelokandassociates.com, and contact us for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. We have solutions for just about everything that ails you financially. The promise I would like is that you let us help you.
Now, Ron, one of the things you concentrate on is building a strategy for making money last. Does our retirement money need a strategy?
You know, Adrienne, I think it does. People go to the movies, restaurants, take a vacation, or just pay their heating bill, and they find the money doesn't buy much. It just trickles away. We say inflation is low. I don't think so when you're on a fixed income.
So is there a strategy to make our money last, given our longevity? Or when you're no longer getting a salary that can increase every year, what would the strategy be?
Well, Adrienne, there are many strategies, and they should be customized for you. That's why we invite people to ask us questions and take the opportunity for a no-cost, no-obligation consultation. However, there is one money issue we all have. That's taxes. You can prevent taxation or at least make it better by following certain rules. I think everyone should know the rules to legitimately avoid taxation.
So tell us some of those rules now.
Yes. The first is to fully understand how taxes infect your IRA and other retirement plans. Because you get deductions when you make a contribution and your nest egg grows tax deferred, it's easy to forget how much tax you will pay after you're 70 and a half and you must take distributions. We look to see how we can help you pay taxes earlier when cash flow is better and let everything grow totally tax-free from then on. Most of the time, we can save people thousands of dollars and give them a much better retirement with early tax planning. For example, say you accumulated $300,000 in your IRA. You reach age 70 and a half and are in the 28% tax bracket. You would need to withdraw $11,000 required by law, or get a 50% tax penalty and you still owe the taxes. To make your withdrawal, and after your taxes are deducted, you only have $7,900. What a shock, and those taxes have to be paid from your nest egg or out of pocket. It doesn't have to be that way. I will show you how to get tax-free cash flow and choose when you want to take the money, not when the IRS compels you.
You know, Ron, we really do want to learn that for our money in an IRA or another qualified plan. But what if our nest egg is not in an IRA? What then?
Well, if people have a nest egg outside of a tax-deferred retirement plan, they probably are paying taxes all along, and that doesn't make much sense either. It would be wonderful to convert some of that taxable nest egg and get tax advantages and enjoy that tax-free cash flow.
So how do we educate ourselves on all this?
Yes, when you have your no-cost, no-obligation consultation, you receive the book, The Retirement Miracle. It literally gives you all the facts and figures you need to turn a nest egg into a lifelong tax-free cash flow. When you read how it's done, it really doesn't seem like a miracle to build your financial fortress. So please do contact us for an appointment.
Well, I'm glad we don't need a miracle. We just need an appointment. And before we get deeper into lifelong tax-free cash flow, just give us a brief description of what actually happens when people do contact you.
Well, first we find out what's really important to you. Then we talk about what is keeping you up at night. Here's where we match the problem with the solution in a way that makes all the difference. When you contact us, you will always get a highly trained client advisor, and we give you the time you need to understand your customized plan. And we won't waste your time if we cannot help you. When you visit www.ronaldgelockandassociates.com, you will see the answers to frequently asked questions, so you are comfortable to call us.
So now back to strategies. You promised to share an important strategy about longevity and money.
Right. I'm actually going to give you a two-part strategy. The first is, and please really pay attention to get this, you must have a system, not an investment. An investment might grow and you have a bigger net worth, but not necessarily a better lifestyle. With a system, you cover all the bases: tax-free cash flow, legacy for a spouse, kids and grandkids, the ability to borrow with low or no interest, to get cash if you have a medical care need, and even to avoid death taxes.
You know, we're beginning to think system. We see the value of a system, not investing. How do we get into such a system? It seems too good to be true.
Adrian, that's the second part of the strategy. It's actually very easy to set up a system, but a good system is not simple to understand. I'm careful to make sure that my clients truly understand every aspect of their system. But honestly, sometimes I wish they would just let me take care of it, because I eat and breathe these figures every day of my life, and it can be complex to explain.
Well, we're going to try. We're all ears and attention. Just try us, Ron.
Well, here's one example of a system that uses the benefits of a plan called Indexed Life. This is an interesting system where you transfer a lump sum of money under a contract with a secure financial institution, typically an insurance company. You get an insurance policy to build a legacy, but that's just the beginning. The main part of Indexed Life is to create that tax-free cash flow that we're after. Here's how it works. First, your money is put into an investment-grade earnings program linked to an index, usually the S&P 500. Unlike a mutual fund or a stock, there is a floor, so you cannot lose money even if the index goes down. You have accomplished the most important thing you could ever do for your future. You protected against loss.
Yes, loss really scares us at any age, but it's terrible at retirement.
It's frightening. For example, in 2008, the market went down almost 40% and had to earn 67% just to recover. Your system does not protect against loss. You can surely make money linked to the performance of the index, and that gain keeps being added amount in your account tax-free. There's a cap on how much you could make each year, but that's usually something around 13 to 16%. So people are very happy with the system because they can't lose, but they can gain.
So Ron, you mean you can keep accumulating money and not pay taxes just like in an IRA or a 401k?
Yes, but better, because there is no requirement that you must take a distribution at any time. Best yet, you can always borrow money every year and use it without paying a tax.
Explain how borrowing helps us live tax-free.
Here's one reason why I am so devoted to tax-free living strategies. I can help you strategize exactly how to borrow at a very low fixed rate, maybe 0.5%, even zero interest after a while, and the loan is only paid back from the insurance death benefit, not out of any other assets you have. Or if you choose to have a variable interest rate apply, you will also continue to earn on the amount you borrowed while you're actually using the money for monthly cash flow. Imagine borrowing money and it still earns money for you. Think about it. If you took money out of your IRA and 401k, you would be taxed and you would have no control over the amount or when the withdrawal is made. You would not have created any legacy for your family, and you would certainly not be able to spend the money and keep it earning at the same time.
Wow, are there other systems for tax-free living lifestyle?
There are many, and tax-free is just the half of it. As I mentioned earlier, not losing money is of even more concern. Did you know that the U.S. stock market goes into a recession on average every 8 years? It takes about 18 to 24 months at least to recover. That is okay if you're in your 20s, 30s, even 40s. But once you get into your 50s, and especially after retirement, this can be really devastating. Terrible to suffer a recession when you're taking your money out to live on. Very scary. That's why whatever system we create must first protect the downside. There is no way to do that if your money is just in mutual funds or the stock market or even bonds. Indexed life and certain kinds of fixed annuities provide a floor below which your nest egg cannot fall, even in the event of a recession.
Ron, earlier you mentioned catastrophic illness. What about the problem of long-term care costs?
Yes, you need non-skilled care not covered by Medicare or supplemental policies. Under our system, your insurance death benefit can be accelerated. You use the money to pay expenses like a home health aide. This may keep you out of a nursing home. I think it's better to leave less of a legacy than ask kids for money while you're alive, but that's the way I feel. Each family's different.
So you're saying that what you do is very individualized and customized, and people really do have to talk to you to set up their system.
Yes, please visit www.ronaldgelockandassociates.com to register for our no-cost, no-obligation consultation. You can come to our office, or we're happy to do a video call from anywhere you may be. It's my objective to make sure you don't run out of money before you run out of breath.
Well, sure. I hope that you all have come away with a new perspective on how to prepare for your future. Ron's purpose is to give you a new way of thinking.
I do promise that after your no-cost, no-obligation consultation with us, your eyes will be open and you will see a new way. The system will make all the difference.